Matthias Bavitz, better known by his stage name Aesop Rock, is an American hip-hop recording artist and producer residing in San Francisco, California. He was at the forefront of the new wave of underground and alternative hip-hop acts that emerged during the late 1990s and early 2000s. He was signed to LP's Definitive Jux label until it went on hiatus in 2010. betterPropaganda ranked him at number 19 at the top 100 artists of the decade. He is a member of the group The Weathermen, Hail Mary Mallon, The Uncluded and Two of Every Animal. Regarding his name, he said, "I acquired the name Aesop from a movie I had acted in with some friends. It was my character's name and it sort of stuck. The rock part came later just from throwing it in rhymes." Biography, early and personal life. Bavitz was born at Syosset Hospital in Syosset, New York and raised in Northport, Long Island, New York to his father Paul and mother Jamuja. Ian has two brothers, Chris and Graham. Ian, along with his siblings, was raised Catholic but later on in his life became agnostic. Bavitz attended Northport High School in 1990 and graduated in 1994. He married Allison Baker, guitarist and vocalist of rock band Dirty Ghosts in 2005. They resided in San Francisco, California but have since divorced. He has tattoos on each forearm. His left arm says the words "must not sleep," and the right says, "must warn others," which are quotes inspired by the 1956 film Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Aesop Rock has used these quotes as lyrics in the chorus of his song Commencement at the Obedience Academy. "Must not sleep. Must warn others / trust blocks creep where the dust storm hovers." He also used them in his song Antisocial, in the line "must not sleep. Must warn others / I'll nick at your turbulence then trample on your stutters." 1994 a Euro 1998, college. After graduating from high school, Bavitz attended Boston University in Massachusetts. He acquired his bachelor's in 1998. This is where he met his future producer, Blockhead, where he too was aspiring to be an MC until he first met Ian in 1994, the 1 year he attended Boston University. After hearing him freestyle, he decided to put his dreams of rapping aside and focused on producing instead. Blockhead was involved with a crew in New York called the Overground that included Dub L. Musical career, 1985 a Euro 1995, NYC underground music scene. As a youth, Ian and his family would usually commute to New York City. This had a great impact on him and the way he viewed the hip-hop culture. Bavitz began rapping in the early 1990s. He cites Public Enemy, BDP, KMD, and Run DMC as early influences. Bavitz also listened to rock acts such as Dead Kennedys, Fugazi, and Ministry. He was introduced to these groups by his older brother Chris. Bavitz started to play instruments such as the piano and bass at an early age. He then eventually acquired a sampler. 1996 a Euro 1998, early musical efforts. While attending college, Bavitz initially recorded and released two self-financed efforts, Music for Earthworms, a full-length featuring underground artist per CP on 2 tracks. Bavitz also released a music video to Abandon All Hope, which was one of the tracks on the CD. The album sold over 300 copies, largely from a grassroots internet-based promotion at his website aesoprock.com and then popular web portal, mp3.com. It was a success. With the money he made from his previous release, he then released his Appleseed EP in 1999, which received critical acclaim in the underground hip-hop circuit. Both of his early records were produced by longtime friend Blockhead, and underground producer Dub L. He completed these albums while also working as a waiter. 1999 a Euro 2001, record label acquisition. After his breakthrough success in the underground hip-hop and indie rap community, he was eventually noticed by the Mush label and obtained his first record deal in 1999, just a year after he graduated from college. Aesop released his first major album, Float, with guest appearances from Vast Air, Slug, and Dose One. Production was split between Blockhead and Aesop himself, with one track by Omega One. During this time, Aesop worked at a photography gallery. In August 2001, tragedy struck when Bavitz had a nervous breakdown. The song One of Four on his Daylight EP documents his struggles. 2001 Euro 2002, Labor Days and Daylight EP. Shortly after releasing Float, Aesop Rock signed to Manhattan-based label Definitive Jux, where he released Labor Days, an album dedicated to the discussion of labor in American society and the concept of wage slaves. This album was most well known for its single Daylight. Because of its popularity, Daylight was re-released in 2002 as a 7-track EP, including an alternative new version of the song Night Light, whose paraphrased lyrics simultaneously refer back to, and stand in stark opposition to, the originals. The song Labor was featured in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. It also was the first album in his catalog to break through the Billboard charts, peaking at number 15 at the United States Independent charts. 2003 Euro 2004, Bazooka Tooth, Labor Days was followed by Bazooka Tooth in 2003. For the first time, production was mostly handled by Rock himself, with 3 tracks from longtime collaborator Blockhead and 1 from close friend and Definitive Jux label CEO LP. Guest appearances include Party Fun Action Committee, LP, and Mr. Liff and Camp Low. With this release, Aesop hit a higher level of recognition, releasing No Jumper Cables as a single and music video, then another single, Freeze, shortly after. A remix of No Jumper Cables was featured on Tony Hawk's Underground 2, furthering Aesop's recognition. In 2004, he released Build Your Own Bazooka Tooth and created a contest in which you had to create a remix of an Aesop Rock song using the a cappellas and instrumentals. 2005 Euro 2006, Fast Cars EP and The Weathermen. In February 2005, Aesop Rock released a new EP, Fast Cars, Danger, Fire and Knives. The first pressing of the EP included an 88-page booklet with lyrics from every release from Float until this EP. Later pressings of the album come without the booklet, but with an additional bonus track, Fasamelta. In addition, a limited number of albums were available direct from Def Jux with Aesop Rock's graffiti tag on them. In response to demands from his fans, Rock did less production on the EP. 3 songs are produced by Blockhead, 3 produced by Aesop, and 1 by Rob Sonic. During this time he was asked to join the Weathermen to replace Fast Air, 2007, Night Plus iPod and None Shall Pass. Aesop Rock was commissioned to create a 45-minute instrumental track for the Night Plus iPod running system, entitled All Day. It was released in February 2007. Distributed via the iTunes Music Store and featuring his wife Alison Baker on guitar and scratches from DJ Big Wiz, Aesop has described the release as something that evolved enough that the sound was constantly fresh and attractive, as though the runner were moving through a set of differing cities or landscapes. All Day was followed in August of the same year by Bavitz's 5th full-length album, None Shall Pass, released in 2007. The album also contained original artwork by Jeremy Fish. About Jeremy Fish, Aesop Rock said, "Man, that guy's my hero. We have a friend in common who hit me up a while back saying that this guy Jeremy Fish had an opportunity to pitch a cartoon to Disney and wanted me to be involved in the music side. I flipped out cues. I was also a fan of his, and owned some of his work." Aesop Rock also teamed up with Jeremy Fish again in a project called Ghosts of the Barbary Coast. Aesop Rock made a song called Tomorrow Morning, to go along with a slideshow of drawings that Jeremy Fish drew. This was displayed in San Francisco, but was also made available for download online. None Shall Pass had positive reviews from critics and fans, applauding Aesop for his change in sound. 2007 Euro 2011, Hiatus. In February 2010, LP announced that the label would be put on hiatus, aside from selling its catalog and merchandise. Bavitz has since been absent in terms of making any new albums or EPs, albeit being featured on other artist records and producing. 2008 Euro present, Rhymesayers, Kimya Dawson, Skletton. In 2009, Bavitz produced Felt's third album, Fel 3, a tribute to Rosie Perez. April 20, 2011, it was announced that Rhymesayers Entertainment would release Hail Mary Mallon's debut album Are You Going to Eat That? A music video for their first single off the album Smock was announced that same day. November 2011, Bavitz announced via Reddit that he is working on his next solo album, and has a majority of it complete. December 2011, Aesop Rock is also reportedly working on an album with anti-folk singer Kimya Dawson, famous for being one half of the group The Moldy Peaches. The working title for the project is called Hokey Fright. The group has been named The Uncluded. January 17, 2012, it was reported that Aesop Rock finished recording his upcoming solo album Sklethen, and it is scheduled to be released July 10, 2012 through Rhymes Ayers Entertainment. April 10, 2012, the first official single from Aesop Rock's Rhymes Ayers debut album Sklethen, Zero Dark 30, was released on both SoundCloud and YouTube. As of April 20, 2012, the song had already received combined plays views of 86,434. Sklethen was released on July 10, 2012. February 11, 2013, the first music video from The Uncluded is released on YouTube, and Hokey Fright is given a release date of May 7, 2013. The album will consist of 16 tracks. The video for their third single Delicate Cycle has a cameo of Lil Bub. 2013 tour. Aesop Rock is currently touring the United States to promote Sklethen. Also, he has been touring with Kimya Dawson and performing material as The Uncluded. Along with playing a number of individual events, The Uncluded performed as part of a Rhymes Ayers lineup at Summerfest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. On the Sklethen tour, a majority of his touring equipment was stolen, prompting Aesop to raise funds by releasing limited edition artwork. It was announced he will be performing on the first day of Coachella 2013. Aesop Rock stated he is 10 tracks into the next Hail Mary Mallon record, aiming for a late 2013 or early 2014 release. Lyrics: Bavitz's lyrics are generally seen as being both complex and abstract, while others dismiss them as verbose. His frequent use of homonyms exacerbates this. Critics state that the use of words can be so detailed that it becomes difficult to determine their originally intended meaning. The lyrics are sometimes inspired by events which have occurred in Bavitz's personal life and are thus naturally prone to subjective interpretation by outsiders. Questioned about his lyrical style in an interview, Bavitz responded, Unregistered trademark S probably because Unregistered trademark S not the most accessible music in the world. It may pose a slight challenge to the listener beyond your average pop song. I'm no genius by a long shot, but these songs are not nonsensical, that's pretty preposterous. I'd have to be a genius to pull this many nonsensical records over people's eyes. It's not exactly fast food, but when people pretend I'm just spewing non sequiturs and gibberish I can't unregistered trademark T help but think they simply have unregistered trademark T listen and are regurgitating some rumor they're unregistered trademark they heard about me. Even if it's not laid out in perfect sentences is any rap? Unregistered trademark D have to be an idiot to not at least grasp a few things from these songs. Or have had no interest in pulling anything from them in the first place. In 2002 on the song One of Four Aesop Rock explains. But I can tell you that I only write shit down when I believe it / so take this how you want but no I mean it. Aesop Rock, One of Four Daylight EP. In May 2014, a study by Matt Daniels found that Aesop Rock's vocabulary and his music surpassed 85 other major hip-hop and rap artists, as well as Shakespeare's works and Herman Melville's Moby Dick, being named the largest vocabulary in hip-hop. Selected discography. Albums: Music for Earthworms, Float, Labor Days, Bazooka Tooth, None Shall Pass, Are You Gonna Eat That? Sklethen, Hokey Fright, EPs, Appleseed, Daylight, Fast Cars, Danger, Fire and Knives, All Day, Night Plus Original Run, The Blob, TBA, Compilations, Build Your Own Bazooka Tooth, B-Sides and Rarities Volume 1, 1999-2003, B-Sides and Rarities Volume 2, 2003-2006, B-Sides and Rarities Volume 3, 2006-2009, Singles, Filmography, References. External links: Aesop Rock on MySpace, Aesop Rock on Twitter, 900 Bats Artist website, Aesop Rock on Last FM, Definitive Jux Biography, Mush Records Biography, Aesop Rock on IMDb, Aesop Rock Discography at Discogs. Aesop Lyrics Explained at Rap Genius, Aesop Rock Interview and Profile in Exclaim Magazine, Interview with Aesop Rock and Guernica, All Day, All Night April 2008, Interview with Submerge Magazine, September 2008 Interview with LA Record, September 2008 Interview with LA Weekly, Pitchfork article, Know the Ledge Interview with Aesop Rock, DeLarge Interview, Aesop Rock on Scones, Roy Christopher Interview with Aesop Rock, aesoprock.com archive.